Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Olivia. On this channel, I talk about all things about where I live, which is Chicago, nursing, and just a little bit of other things in between. Today, I'm going to be talking about people that would really thrive in the Chicago area for various different reasons, whether it's employment, personal life, etc. Definitely just going to give you some information of type of people that I think would be best living here in Chicago. Just some quick fun facts about me. I lived in Chicago for now a little over 2 years. I moved from Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been in Atlanta for most of my life, so I would consider myself a Southern girl in the Midwest world, okay? I definitely feel like Chicago was a great fit for me. Out of all the other cities that I could have chosen out there in the universe, definitely felt like Chicago was the best place for me for many reasons. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially if this video gives you a lot of information. I have other Chicago videos that you can check out on my channel. I'll put some in the cards and also towards the end of the video. All right, so the first type of person that I think would thrive in Chicago for sure are people who love fitness. I'm telling you, at least for me, coming from the South, people who love fitness is something that I'm not used to seeing in abundance. There's a lot of people that run in the city. There's a lot of people that go to various gyms. Coming from Atlanta, it was either like Planet Fitness or LA Fitness. You might have your sprinkle of other gyms, but at least when I was there, those were the two types of gyms people went to. Here, there's all types of brands, Equinox, Lifetime, the LA Fitness, of course, there's still Planet Fitness. There's boutique kind of niche down gyms. There's all types of gyms, yoga studios, Pilates studios, on every corner, bar studios. I mean, you name it, boxing. It is definitely here. So if you are somebody who really thrives at going to group fitness classes or someone who really enjoys just fitness altogether, running at the lake, which is a popular thing people do, running around the local parks, around the city, definitely recommend Chicago if you are a fitness girly or guy. There's definitely lots of people that you can build community with here, who's around that, and your own self, right? Health is a big thing in Chicago. People are more or less eating healthier options. Maybe not as much as like a West Coast, but definitely more than like a Southerner. The next type of person that I think would thrive in Chicago is someone who really enjoys all the things that comes with all four seasons. So if you enjoy the good and the bad of all four seasons, then come on down. Chicago's waiting for you. You're gonna get a true spring. You're gonna get the rain, but you're gonna also get those random good days, cool weather. And you're going to get the pollen as well. Summer is going to be mild temperatures, not going to be aggressive like, say, somebody like me coming from the South. So you're going to get your nice 80s, maybe early 90s, late 70s most of the time. But you're also going to get those really hot days that summer does do, right? And then winter, you're going to get the cold, but you're also going to get the fun things that winter provides, the winter feelings, the snowy Christmases, just the true feeling of winter. You're going to experience it all. There's going to be ice conditions, but then also makes you feel more cozied in. And then let me not forget fall. Fall is honestly the best weather here. You're going to get that cool, crisp weather, and there's a lot of fun things around fall as well here in Chicago. And summer. Spring, not so much, just get through it. They're trying to just wait till summer starts. But as most people know, Chicago summers are unmatched, is literally a thing. People know that Chicago is a place to be when it comes to the summer. I definitely recommend Chicago for people who enjoy all things that comes with all four seasons, because Chicago doesn't shut down because these seasons exist. They create moments around each season. Each season has its own memorable thing going on in the city. So I highly recommend Chicago if that's something that you do not mind. The next type of person that I recommend moving to Chicago is someone who's a big foodie. So if you want to try all the good food from like popular chefs or Michelin restaurants or mom and pop shops that are really well known and really good from different types of cuisines around the world, you definitely want to live in Chicago. I would definitely put Chicago at the top of the best food in America for sure. I haven't been all over the country, but I've been in many of the big cities, and definitely Chicago takes the cake for me when it comes to cuisine. You can get affordable options or you can go a little more high end. at like a West Loop kind of neighborhood, or you can go to the more residential areas and try more at the mom and pop restaurants and the cute various neighborhoods that Chicago has. I believe there's 78 neighborhoods, so you definitely got to try the different foods in the different neighborhoods. I would even, for this category, I would even slide in people who really enjoy nightlife, because the nightlife is when most people are consuming their food. Of course, you can consume food all throughout the day, but I recommend Chicago if you really enjoy like nightlife that's centered around food. So like going to bars with kitchens, or just bars in general. It doesn't have to be food, just really good cocktails. Or if you really enjoy like music venues, if you really enjoy dancing, if you really enjoy the art scene, anything in that nightlife world, Chicago has a variety of different options, whether you're more of the dancing, drinking kind of person, or more of the chill, check out a gallery kind of person. There's things for everybody at night. So Chicago is definitely one of those cities. My next category, people, even though my last one kind of blended two types of people, but it could still be the same if you think about it. But I'll just say my next category of people are corporate workers. There's lots of great industries here, lots of great businesses that have hubs here in Chicago, from like Google, Accenture, Salesforce, and other businesses. I'm in healthcare, so not too well versed in all the businesses, but just having friends who are in the corporate spaces, they definitely are doing well being in Chicago, growing in their industry. So I definitely recommend, especially in the more downtown area, I recommend people moving to Chicago if they're trying to further their career, climb the ladder, and all of that corporate-y stuff. And with that, you'll be around more like-minded people and you can network better, and you really would thrive in this city if that's what you're looking for. As for other spaces in terms of career, I definitely would say creatives. Most people might not consider Chicago as a place for creatives just off the bat, but I definitely think there's a huge creative space here, especially if you're trying to pioneer something. I definitely think Chicago is a great place to break ground. I would say Chicago is more of a growing creative community as opposed to it has reached its pinnacle. For example, Chicago just had their first fashion show week this year. So that was really exciting for a lot of people in more of the photography, film, media kind of worlds, fashion world, but also there's other types of creative spaces that you can really jump into. Lots of art galleries here, way more than what I'm used to coming from Atlanta. So there's lots of opportunities to jump into that world. You're a visual artist or photographer or whatever, and you really want to get your work out there. This is definitely a great city to do such. By the way, I am a photographer as well as a nurse. You can check out my website. It's in the description box down below if you want to see some of my work. Me, myself, dipping my toes more into the gallery world space, I definitely see that there is much more opportunity here than when I was in Atlanta. And the community of creatives is really welcoming here. So I highly recommend creatives and people in corporate spaces to consider Chicago. The next group of people that I think would thrive in Chicago, which is more of a logistical thing, is people who cannot or desire not to drive in Chicago. There are such great options in terms of transit in Chicago. We have the CTA, we have the Metro. Of course, you have Uber, Lyft, walking. You have the Lyft bikes, the Devi bikes, I think that's what they call it. You have the scooters. So many options. And Chicago, because it's such a neighborhood concept in Chicago, you can pretty much find everything that you need within your neighborhood. And if you want to jump neighborhoods, that's when you can consider those transit options. But you could pretty much find your everyday essentials in most neighborhoods. So that's really nice because it kind of helps you create your own little world within a big city. And the transit system here, specifically, I can only speak for CTA. I've not taken the Metro yet, but I've heard only great things. Metro is a little bit more expensive though, so just FYI. And the Metro does take you out to the suburbs, which is really nice, while the CTA only stays within the city limits. But the CTA is really affordable as of now. I believe it's $250, per ride. And I believe there's a 2-hour transfer that's free. So if you need to transfer one train to the next, that would be a free transfer. And it's really just super user friendly. And what I really love about the CTA is that it goes straight into both airports, which is Midway and O'Hare, and it can take you to the city limits just by jumping on those trains. I have several friends here who have came from places where they drove their whole life because those type of environments required a car. A lot of them moved here and ditched their car. They do not have a car and they've been doing it for years. They still feel like they can do everything that they need to do, and the transit has been very trustworthy for them. The next group of people that I definitely think would thrive in Chicago are people who, how can I put this, who would categorize themselves as everyday kind of people. People who feel like they're very casual, they don't need too much, they don't do too much, they're not looking to, be super networky. Not saying that's not a thing, but if you don't want that to be a thing, it's very easy to do so. And what I'm trying to basically compare it to is like a New York. Like if you go to New York, people are there trying to network. If you go to an LA, people are there trying to network. They're trying to grow. They're trying to build. They're trying to hustle. They're trying to get their name out, all that blase, blase. So you feel that like push of people trying to befriend everyone. Chicago is very much so not like that, at least in the grand scheme of things. Maybe in niche communities you might feel that, but overall feeling, Chicago is definitely not like that. It's very much a casual city, everyday kind of person. You might go to events and see big name people, but they're very much moving around that environment as if they're a regular Bob, right? So it's definitely not a flashy type of city. I find that like going to other cities, you see like the fashion is much more flashier. You see that people are trying to shake hands with the right type of people. Chicago, you can definitely do that if that's what you choose to, but it will look out of place just because everybody's just chilling. To be honest, everybody's just casual. Everybody looks like everyday normal people, and they might not be, but they just don't come off that way, if you know what I'm trying to say. I definitely do think if you're somebody who really loves fashion, for example, and you like to wear bold colors and just be very bold, I definitely think there's a space here for you to thrive in, because I definitely think that scene of just being more bold and being more networking is definitely a growing space I find that Chicago's going to get into sooner than later. So if you definitely want to break ground, Chicago's the best place to do if you want to be in a big city. So for my next type of people, I'm going to make a slight turn into more just like your day-to-day personal life. But I definitely think dog parents would thrive in Chicago. As a dog parent myself to an 80-pound golden doodle, Chicago has been such a welcoming city for my dog. In terms of where we walk, the places we can go to, the amount of dog parks, the green grass around, and also the dog community. There's lots of other dogs to meet, a lot of other dog parents to meet. So if you're looking to make friends within that space in particular, you'll definitely find great people because there is a lot of dogs. Certain neighborhoods have more dogs than others. I find that when you go more towards the south side kind of neighborhoods, you don't really see as many dog parents, at least walking around, but definitely more so the downtown northern side of Chicago, you will see a lot of dog parents, particularly in the downtown area. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking to bring your dog up here to live in Chicago. Speaking of making community, the next and last type of people that I think would thrive in Chicago are people who are just looking to have a fresh start in life, build a new community, make some new friends, and start at ground zero when it comes to building your life over again. I definitely think Chicago is such a welcoming city, very warm energy, definitely lots of friendly people, lots of things to do, lots of hobbies that you can get into, lots of different communities that you can put your foot into and not feel overwhelming or feel like you need to be somebody else. I definitely think Chicago is a great place to come to if you're trying to build community. There might be different opinions on that, but personally for me, I found that in all the spaces that I placed myself into, I was able to walk out talking to someone. People are really welcoming and people understand that Chicago is a friendly place. So a lot of people fall in line with that type of energy. So I definitely recommend Chicago if you're looking to just start life all over again. But yes, those are my 8 types of people that I think would thrive in Chicago. Let me know down below in the comments, what kind of people do you think would thrive in Chicago? Are you thriving in Chicago? All right, guys, I hope you all have a great day and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.